Souls. It is Sacred Sexual Saturday. So I'm so excited to do this reading because we just had that beautiful, super full sturgeon moon in Aquarius, right? It was so intense, so powerful. If you have Aquarius placements heavily in your chart, Leo placements, Gemini, and Aries were all really, really highly affected by that moon's energy. And then we also had the Lions Gate, right? And that portal just happened to close for us yesterday on the 12th. I'm recording this on the 13th August. So there's been really intense, heavy energies coming in, energies that have been helping us to clear and clean up our lives, help us to heal, especially when it comes to love and finances and just overall like how we're showing up in the world. There's been a lot of endings and relationships. People are starting to see the truth of who they are at a soul level and the things that are no longer in alignment with them. And so a lot of those relationships have gone, and that's not just our intimate relationships, that's everything, right? The relationship with ourself may be changing as many of us. I love the fact that that alarm is going off in the background because that's kind of like what it felt like, right? It felt like alarming and scary and overwhelming and like everything is changing. It's just like this big like warning sign, like, hey, if it's not working for you, it's got to go. It's got to go, right? So we have Aries that just went retrograde in Jupiter. That's hilarious. Aries just went retrograde in Jupiter, super full moon in Aquarius. We're still in Leo season, right? So the energies have been intense and transformative and changing, and it can be alarming to some of us, right? It can be alarming to some people to feel like they don't know if they're coming or going, right? You don't know which way is up anymore. That's hilarious to me. That's hilarious to me. That's Archangel Michael hanging out with all the firemen and policemen and people that work on the ambulances. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for being here with us in this reading and supporting the messages that are coming through. Archangel Michael also helps to support like the Twin Flame Collective. So if you happen to resonate with the Twin Flame, just know that he's coming in to even more support and help give you the strength and courage to move forward on this journey. Right? Hello, butterfly friend. So anyway, I wanted to see what all of these energies have to do with us, have to do, are doing for us as far as our intimate relationships are going. Okay. So thank you for joining me on Sacred Sexual Saturdays. Let's dive deep into these energies and see what's going to come forth for the collective today. So thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ancestors, for being here with me in the collective today. Thank you for supporting our messages as we dive deep into the intimate relationships of our life and see what's happening on this beautiful sacred Saturday. So thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. What messages? What do we need to know right now? How's this super full moon helping us? Okay. A lot. There's a lot happening. I see. Amazing. All right. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. Right. See this energy in the back? That is a devil energy. Right. So it's almost like in the background, we might still be a little too focused on the cardinal things that are going on, maybe the addiction, the low vibrational energies, the using sex as a form of manipulation and power, like that type of energy is in the background. So something just to be mindful of. It also looks like the divine feminine here is being kind of distracted by that energy. So where is your focus at, right? Is your focus currently on the intimacy and the pleasure that you're receiving, or is your head somewhere else, right? Are you still thinking maybe about a toxic partner, a karmic partner? Like I said, a lot of relationships have come to an end right now. And just because something is over doesn't mean that it's out of our energetic field, right? Out of our awareness. Break up with someone in January and still be in your feels about them that following like November or December, just depending on the intensity and the connection and what was going on, right? So there's still a lot of healing going on within the connection. Divine masculine energy too, right? You see like he's holding on. It's almost like trying to what do want to say? Like control himself, control his urges, right? And I think a lot of that is because he sees that she is kind of distracted, so he's pulling his energy back. Incredible. Then we have the Three of Pentacles here, right? So this is a feminine and masculine energy. They're very supportive. They're very connected. Here, the masculine is completely supporting this feminine. So I feel like within his heart center, because of what is at the basis of the reading, right, with this Eight of Swords, within his heart, he wants to show up. He wants to be supportive of her. He wants her to be vulnerable and naked and to feel secure within this dynamic, right? As well as the beautiful intimacy here, right? Because they're kissing, right? And kissing is a very intimate thing. So I feel like there's a divine masculine here that's all in, all in. And if this feminine decides that that's what she wants, he's here for it. But she needs to clean up her thought process first, right? Like stop thinking about the past, stop being distracted, stop allowing the comments and the opinions and the judgments of others to be a deciding factor to what she has going on in her life, right? And then we have death, right? And death is about endings and new beginnings and really just like cleaning things up. But here we have this beautiful hourglass, right? So this healing process takes time. But again, this is the ending of something. See these two in the background, right? They're like sated, they're finished, they're done. It looks like they had an intimate moment. They're getting some rest now, right? It's almost like, give it to me, angels. Like it's almost like we're finished with the games. We're finished with the illusion. We're finished with the drama. Like it's just a matter of just resting and relaxing. And although the death here looks really scary, I feel like it's coming in to bless them, to bring them this kind of peace that they need. I feel like this death is the death of the deception of that devil energy that we saw in the beginning, the end of the bullshit and the fuckery and the pain and the lies and all that stuff, right? So that we can step into this more intimate, loving dynamic. So I feel like for many of you, this is just the death of those old relationships, those karmic patterns, those toxic people that were in our lives. You know, like we were finally getting rid of it once and for all. And for some of you, that's going to feel like a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, yes, finally, great. And for some of you, it's a little bit of distraction, right? Like maybe you're not really ready to let that go, even with all that's there in front of you, right? We're holding on to familiar hells because we're scared of the unfamiliar heavens that are before us, right? But if we step into this energy, we allow ourselves to be naked, allow ourselves to be vulnerable, allow ourselves to show up as the fullness of who we are, we'll realize that this energy is way more supportive to what we want than the thing that we're still thinking about in the past. Okay? And beautiful. Look at this chariot energy, right? And chariot is about taking action and moving things forward. This masculine is all in it for this divine feminine, right? Rubbing her back, supporting her, even watching her sleep, right? And that's a really beautiful, intimate thing, just to watch your partner sleep and to sleep with someone, right? To feel safe enough to close your eyes and to know that, like, they have your back, truly, truly forward. So I feel like the masculine here is really ready to move forward. It's almost like um, the feminine is going back and forth, right? She wants or feels and is in this moment of vulnerability with him, but her mind might be elsewhere. And so, divine feminine, that's for you to like shift your thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, are you ignoring the love that's before you because you're so focused on what is no longer or something in the past, or maybe you still have like one foot in that pool of deception, right? Or you're on the fence, right? You know you deserve better. You know you want more. There's an opportunity here for you to receive that, and yet part of you is still stuck in the past a little bit, right? And I know that's not always easy, right? intimate with someone, maybe it's intense, maybe you had a really passionate sexual relationship with someone and it was great. It was deep and orgasmic and it gave you everything you wanted. Like in your physical body, you're just feeling all the feels. But in the emotional space, it left you feeling a little empty. In the mental space, it's got you going all over the place because you don't know if you're coming or going, or you're not feeling necessarily worthy or enough. Like there's all this like conflict energy. And then you have this beautiful opportunity, this beautiful divine masculine energy in front of you that's willing to pour into you, that has your back, that's supporting you, that's using all his strength to just hold on because he knows that part of you is so distracted that he doesn't want to give up on you, right? So are you willing to to shift your energy? Or are you willing to accept this new dynamic, strong love that's here and available to you? Really deep question to ask yourself. Look, the Nine of Swords now, right? So again, this divine masculine has her back, right? Divine feminine, you're there with your eyes closed. But what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about the person that's there with you, supporting you, kissing you, nurturing you, loving on you, holding you down, holding your back, or your mind still, you're still distracted? I feel like this message is all for the divine feminine. Like you need to just rebalance your energies and see what you really want. And we have the moon card. I love that since we had that beautiful super full moon in Aquarius, right? That's really deep. The moon is always about like secrets and the hidden and the unknown, but the truth comes out in the light. So we have this huge super full moon in Aquarius, right? Lighting things up, showing us the truth of all things. And I love the fact that sorry, one of them is holding a mirror, right? So seeing yourself for who you truly are, like really taking a reflection back at who I am. What is the light showing to you? What are you reflecting back in that mirror? And here she's holding a cup, right? So it's almost like the divine feminine, although it's showing me as two different couples, I see it as like two sides of the same coin. Like one part is one part of you is like reflecting back all these different energies, trying to bring things into balance, starting to see yourself fully, right? And then the other part of you has your cup up in the air is because you want your cup to be filled up, right? You want the overflow, you want the love, you want the abundance, you want the joy, you want the intimacy, you want the passion, right? But is that what you're reflecting back, right? Is that the truth of who you are? You're saying that this is what you want, but is that how you're showing up in the world? Then we have the Ten of Wands, right? So here we got a couple that's so passionate, so anxious, so eager, such urgency that we're outside doing it. We can't even take our clothes off, right? You see our clothes are all tattered and he doesn't have his underwear all the way down. It's just at his knees, right? Because you don't need to, not, you don't need to, because like it wasn't even time to complete this robe, right? But I feel like this energy, this devil, no, not this devil energy, this Ten of Wands energy just feels to me like what the feminine is holding on to, right? Like they're hiding and they're secretive, but it's really carnal, it's really passionate. So I feel like that's where her head is at, right? She's still thinking about those intimate moments, that racing, that urgency, that passion that's there, and it has her in conflict, right? Conflicted. Yes, I want the love, but I'm also reflecting back, just like my carnal ways. Her thoughts are everywhere, 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 everywhere. With the intimacy, with the clearing, with the healing that's coming on, right? That's coming up. It's about really taking stock, divine feminine, of yourself, how you're showing up in relationships, and what you want that to look like, right? What do you want your relationships to look like? What do you want your relationships to feel like, right? Is it love that you're desiring? Are you in your heart at this time? Are you overthinking this whole dynamic? Maybe you don't feel like you're good enough for this new person that's in front of you, right? So you're still stuck on the past because at least you know at least you know what you get when you deal with them, right? It may not be deep, it may not be loving, but you know what you're gonna get, right? You got that big, big energy going on. Like they can make me calm, they make me feel good in bed, they know my spots, all that. But do they have your back, right? Do you feel safe enough There's an ending coming. And the ending is going to be of this, I'm only focused on the physical. And there's been a shift in the collective for a few months now where we've been shifting from that energy of everything is only physically based to a higher, deeper level. People want deeper connections, right? The divine masculine is looking dead at her and using all his strength to hold on because he wants a deeper connection with her, but her mind is elsewhere. So if you're a divine feminine, I say he and she just because it's easier when I'm talking about the energies, but energies aren't gender specific. But if you want something deeper, divine feminine, if you want something where you're more than just a body or a substitute for someone's form of masturbation, then you need to open your heart and allow this ending to truly come to an end, right? Don't fight for the shortcomings. Don't fight for it just because it feels good. Because I know, listen, I've had some of the best sex in the world, right? I used to do freaking porn. I know what good dick feels like and what it doesn't. But just because it feels good inside of you doesn't mean it's good for you. You know what I mean? Just because someone looks good doesn't mean that they're a good look. So it's really going to be about whether or not you're going to step into this. And I feel like the full moon is reflecting back to you exactly what's going on, right? Where you're showing up in the world, where you're committed and where you're not. And if you really want your cup to be filled with this love and this passion and this overflow, then you need to get out of your head, right? Stop focusing so much on the past, focusing on that solely carnal energy, and really just open your heart and show up in this dynamic. There's a lot of, look, what's underneath the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Cups, right? Because you need to open your heart to this passionate relationship. And I feel like the divine feminine, just because of how he's walking away, I feel like the divine feminine is scared that if she opens her heart up too much, that it's going to push this divine masculine away. But we see he's here. He's here. He's got your back. He's holding you down, right? He wants you to know that he's here. The chariot is a card of movement, and yet he's not directing these animals to move forward. Instead, his focus is on the divine feminine energy. Right? He's showing you that he's here for you, that he's showing up for you, that he wants to be here for you, that he does have your back. Yeah, I can be out right now and going to make this money and going to do what I got to do, but I want to stay here and make sure that you're good, that you're taken care of, that you know that I got you no matter what's going on. That's a deep, 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 deep connection. A lot of love, a lot of vulnerability there, right? And I know divine feminines, it's not always easy to put yourself out there, right? If you've been hurt before, if you've been betrayed before, if you've been cheated on, lied to, it's hard to trust again. It's hard to open your heart. And there's a huge heart healing going on within the collective right now. As everybody's being guided to really open your heart, to unfreeze the frozen energies that might be there, the grief, the abandonment issues, the self-sabotage, the deceit. Like all of that is getting an upheaval, right? There's an ending coming in, and endings lead to new beginnings. So you're ending the cycle of it's just carnal, it's just physical, it's just empty, and moving more into the space of intimacy and romance and love and vulnerability and trust. You see how her body is completely up in the air. Is that my hawk friend? I think I just saw my hawk friend. But how she's not even standing on any of her feet. She's completely dependent on him to hold her up. And this is a safe energy because he wants to be that support. This masculine is showing up and being like, I got you. I love you. I'm supporting you. I'm here for you. You know, you don't have to be worried with me. You don't have to be afraid. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful energy. I'm going to pull one card from the Romance Angels for you guys because I feel like I should. I feel like you need that right now, Divine Feminines, because there's a lot of love there for you. A lot of newness. You need to know that you deserve it. All right? Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. These beautiful messages. Let's get one final message for this beautiful intimacy reading on this sacred Saturday. What do they need to know? Let's get one final message. Thank you, Romance Angels, for these messages. Thank you, angels. Thank you, God. So you got two. Look, worth waiting for, right? Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yeah. Did I shuffle them? Wait, hold on. The hourglass, right? Divine timing, not on your time, but on the divine time. And it's healing and it's happening. And this is worth you pursuing. This is worth you doing the work. This is worth you like having giving this cycle time to end so something new can begin. Right? So we're finishing up this old cycle right now so that you can step into this new, and this new is going to be so much more healing and refreshing, and it's going to be like a breath of fresh air if you're willing to accept that. Look, healing family issues as well. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So maybe you're like me and you grew up and you didn't see any healthy relationships, right? And so all you all you really trust is the pleasure or the pain that comes with these physical, intimate dynamics, right? But just because your dad cheated on your mom doesn't mean that you need to be you're going to be with someone who's going to necessarily cheat on you, right? Just because your mom abandoned your family doesn't mean that this person that you're with is going to abandon you too, right? So there are things that are coming up right now that are being healed, that are being cleared, that are showing us maybe where within our own energetic field we need to do some inner work, right? Easy to be distracted. Where to go? It's easy to be distracted by just the physical, right? I can go run, get bent over, dug out real quick, and move on. But are you going to feel fulfilled afterwards? Are you feeling empty afterwards? Are you heartbroken afterwards? Right? Do you feel less than afterwards? I work with so many people and doing my soul sex coaching that have sex and have amazing physical like experiences, even orgasmic to a point, but aren't connected with their hearts, aren't connected with their minds, aren't connected with their spiritual self, and they're left feeling really unfulfilled. Or even having a sexual moment with someone who is having their own low vibrational energy, right? And because we're having sex, that's an energetic exchange. So then you're taking on their low vibrational energy, you're taking on their worries, their fears, right? And it's vibing you down. So this healing of family issues, I feel like it's on both sides, right? Divine masculine, divine feminine. Masculine is showing up and being like, hey, you're not my mom, you're not my dad, like, you're not my ex. I'm here for you, I'm willing to support you. But feminine, you have to show up, you have to allow yourself to be loved, to be nurtured, to be seen, to be heard, to be valued. Okay? And then bottom of the deck, true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. I'm telling you, there's a lot of love here. A lot of love here. There's a lot of love here. Divine feminine, you gotta remember that when you offer your cup, it doesn't mean that they're going to leave you. It doesn't mean that they're gonna abandon you. All right? That's not what that is. Ten of Cups is ultimate fulfillment and love and joy, and that's self-love first and foremost. So as you're healing these family issues, learn to love on yourself. There's children in this picture, right? So it's like nurturing our inner child, learning to love who we who needed to be loved as a child, right? Again, some of us saw really unhealthy relationships growing up, so that's all that we know. But it's time to end that cycle, right? It's time to allow that. There we go. Allow that to completely come to an end, so that you can receive this peace, this intimacy, this calm, this love that's available to you. Okay? I'm going to leave it right there. I love you guys so much. I hope you have the most amazing Saturday of your life. I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. And I'll see you next week. Later.